So these are called grow boxes. 2 years ago we got 3, and Joe really liked them, so we got 3 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they were over here last year. These were like $12 last year, and basically they're 4 feet by 8 feet, and I just bent them up and then used a little bit of a coat hanger wire and just kind of wired them together. Well, this year I go, and these are $19 a piece. I need 2 because I only did 4 last year. I did some in the middle, and I string between it, and it was really ghetto. So now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I didn't want to pay $40 for something that was just like $27 last year. So I realized for $31 I'd get a 16-foot by 4 feet. Same thing, just twice as long. So we went up there, but 16 feet's a little long. I didn't want to bend it there. So I cut it. So I measured right in half and cut down the middle. Well, the only problem is when I got it back, of course, I was missing a nice end here. So we just welded on this. We donned our welding sandals and a helmet, and I did a shitty job. All that matters. So now we're good to go. Last year I used the torch and I heated it up, which is why it's all rusty here, and that gave nice bends. If I had assistance, I could probably bend this better, but I don't have assistance. So yeah, long term I think I'm going to build with some extra bricks, some boxes here, and just kind of bin set it, or maybe this would just become it. I don't know. These are kind of cool because you put the water in there and the water wakes up. There's like little channels for the dirt to go, and the roots definitely go in there. So these can be watered like once every 3 days versus every day, and left alone. Last year this got pretty high. In fact, the tomatoes are coming up about that high. So I do have the option of putting some bricks underneath here and raising this up, but we'll see how that goes. I cleaned these out a little bit. Notice that there's already tomato plants growing in there. I think Joe's gonna get tomatoes, and I got more cloth. I think those are tomatoes. I don't know what this is. It's probably weed. Looks like marijuana. You know, again, we got new cloths. The cloths hold the water in and keep some of the weeds out, and yeah, there we go. So instead of working on that, I'm working on this. And yeah, it's warm today. I got this weed eater for $5. She's got a serious blade. She's a right angle. She's a good size. So this will be great for cutting prickers and small bushes down in Beechmere when we're trying to get to the big trees to cut down. It's got a long articulated arm, so it's got a very nice stance on the handles as well as a strap. So she's a little bit heavy, but you need something heavy duty for that. Problem is she leaks gas, is what I was told. So ironically, it's all Allen bolts, so it's pretty easy to take apart. But they're English, they're not metric, which threw me off for a little bit. But fortunately, I have a nice metric or long Allen key, as well as the ball and joint one. So I first took these 4 bolts out thinking that this would just slip off, but for this part here, this was attached there, it didn't. And then I took those 4 off, and this whole thing comes off, which is handy. But and you can tell it was leaking because I put a gas in it and it would leak out the next day. In fact, this would probably light up very fast. So I took the 2 bolts off here thinking there might be something here to keep this from coming off, because all the bolts are removed. It's just kind of stuck on there. So I gave up and started taking the carburetor apart. But apparently I need to hit those bolts inside, but I don't need to get in there. Remember that throttle cable. So it's got a weird design. Basically, and this thing's 1997, so it's 20 years old, but not that old. One of these was pulled out. So I think it was this one, was completely pulled out. So it was just leaking gas all over the place. You put gas in there. And this is the carburetor. So we got one here. Then one goes out of there. Wish I knew which was which. I mean, everything's like brand new. I don't think this got much use on it at all. So anyhow, I'm gonna get more of this. This goes inside the tank. So this is the pre-filter. So it's going to be fun and challenging getting the pipes through here. And clearly there are 2 different size holes. Take note of that. This being the feed. Maybe they'll help identify which one here. So that's the small one, that's the big one. That makes sense. Although The small one goes on to, yeah, the small one goes in here, and then it goes into the carburetor. I guess this is the vacuum or the air that comes out and pushes in there, pressurizes it. I did get it to start. It ran like shit, and of course the fact it was leaking gas means that I needed to take it, fix the hoses beforehand. Now what's happened here, basically new gas has alcohol in it. Alcohol kills rubber. Done. That's why they sell $20 gallon 2-cycle mix at the hardware store, is because it doesn't have any. So if you let the gas sit in there for more than a few months, you're best off using the more expensive stuff. Supposedly you can go around and find like racing gas. It's probably like $8 a gallon, so I don't know, maybe it's cheaper. So you're thinking alcohol in your gas, that's bad for your vehicle? Well, not your car. Your car is designed for that. In fact, racing machines use alcohol, I think because it doesn't detonate as quickly, so you get a better burn. But little things that were built in 1997 were not designed for alcohol in the gas. So it's a weird thing. I like to think that the newer stuff is designed better. Probably not, because it only affects about year 10. Chainsaws are famous for that. So I called the local parts store, and sure enough, they're open today. So before I left, I had a hankering for some tea, so I'm gonna make some sun tea over there. Brought the carburetor in the bag because it's got the fitting, so they can adjust the size. And we're gonna take the last car in the driveway. However, I noticed something interesting walking up before. See how she's higher on the left side? This is about a finger, half-inch higher on the left side. She should be tilting this way because the driveway tilts a little bit this way, except she's tilting this way. So yeah, probably have to replace some of those shock absorbers. So I went to the local hardware store that was still open. I got the hose. The problem here is that I gotta put the hose through these little holes, and having fun with that. So I shaved this down on the grinder, and I'm gonna give it a go. This one's gonna be fun too, but less of an issue. Okay, that works. So I got the fuel filter on there. We'll just shove that back in there. She'll use the gravity mode. Put this back into there. This is the gas cap. Then I'm gonna cut the edge off of here, and I'm gonna pull a little through, and then goes on to here. That one goes over there, and then this little one goes onto there. Not sure if I shoved enough in there, but it just pressurizes it, so it doesn't need a lot. So the weed eater works fine. It should be a 50cc, it's a 30cc, so when the blade spins up until it hits something hard, it does slow down. It's a cheap blade. Probably needs to be sharpened. It's not a carbide, I don't know, but it's a starting point. So we're gonna call that one mostly done. I think I need to open up just the carburetor, but she starts, she runs, she idles, she turns, she cuts. So the next little project I have is a couple weeks ago when they had the throw everything out day. More stuff to donate. I found this Japanese, got a lawn ornament, and she's rusty. But I have a powder coating machine, so I put some WD-40. I'm gonna let this soak for a day or so, and then I'm gonna try it apart and lightly sand this and powder coat it. Being steel, I've got different colors. I know I've got black. I think black, red, and black will look good. So, worst case is I put it back together and it sits like it is. Probably looks better if I turn it upside down. I wonder if that's what goes in there? Maybe drops. I think drops go in there. So, yeah. Well, it got below 9,000 degrees, so I came out and put a little ceramic wax on her. You know, got to shine the shit. And tried the Chinese version I bought a couple years ago, never used on my car, so we'll see how that works. And tomorrow we'll do the little car. I gotta fix the door. I gotta tear the door apart and fix the lock and the pieces that have fallen off since the last time I was in there. I hate going indoors. Those things aren't supposed to be laying down like that. There's like 4 of them in a row. Oh, Georgia, where are you, Georgia? Where are you? Where are you? Oh, there you are, Georgia. Come here. Jesus fucking Christ. So this is my garage cat apparently now. She and I have a weird relationship. She shits all over her. And if I don't put a pill in her, she throws up. So it's funny that she's purring right now because normally I'm the guy throwing a pill down her throat. She doesn't like that much. So maybe she wants to watch some TV. Callie, you want to watch some TV? Yeah, that's a cheap one. So we're getting there. I'm gonna try to get another road tonight. It rained pretty hard yesterday, as you know from the video before. Gave me a little small shelf for my smalls. There's knives and flashlights, smalls, very craftily. It looks like the cat finally figured out there's a deck here. I caught him out here for the first time. Oh yeah, poor little kitty. He's such an asshole. Okay, one of my favorite sales is one of the Garrettsville YMCA. First of all, you just donate the money that you feel responsible. You want to give, I guess. So I give them $20, but yeah, I always find interesting things. So the very first thing I found was a Aladdin lamp wall storage unit. So like, this is for extra generators, not sure what that is. And this is for wick cleaner, and then it's got like instructions for Aladdin lamps. It's made out of cheap copper plate? I'm not sure. Anyhow, antique. This is actually looks pretty comfortable. Glue. So this is nice because the glue comes down at the bottom of the container. So when you squeeze it, you don't have to turn the thing upside down. And then it's got our applicator, which would be handy for large amounts. So the glue comes out in that little roller. It's still brand in the bag. Lifetime supply of fittings for like water or gas lines. I don't know. And gaps for 1/2 inch and then a coupler. This is, I think, for pulling out faucets. It's got a very fine thread. Some nails for underlayment, which we'll be doing this summer. Never can have enough USB cords. This has mini or micro and lightning fuses. Nice brush. This is a spark plug puller. So if you're trying to diagnose which cylinder isn't working properly, you pull the plugs while the engine's running, and of course this prevents you hopefully from getting electrocuted in the process, which has happened to me. If you pull the plug and the engine speed doesn't change, then that's the one that isn't working. If you pull the plug and the engine change speeds, that one's working. Little pump, doesn't seem to turn, probably end up in the trash. These are just cute, so I'll clean those up. They're for holding wires and then cutting them. So you put them in the groove. This is like a unique piece. I think it's a hose clamp. So if you want to shut off a hose clamp, because it's rounded on all the edges. If you're updating your radar detector for various reasons, you have to have it plugged in. So this allows you to plug into the wall and then have your outlet lighter. And then this, believe it or not, I looked at and then I put it down and then I looked at it a second time. If I were to unscrew this, which I can. Aha. I assume it's rechargeable and plugs right into there. So we'll be plugging that in later. Then I got a bunch of CDs. So Bill Monroe book, old country western. So that's kind of cool. Then we got CDs for the car, Depeche Mode with no case. Blues Masters, Essential Blues. Luscious Jackson, that's on a list I have from college, and I may already have that. Stephen Howe's a local singer. He used to do our 4th of July, folk music kind of things. Then Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Greatest Hits. Those go in the car. Let's go right in the car. The Best of the Bee Gees, I mean, say no more. Didn't know there was 2 CDs. Where don't have this, which is ironic. It's a Telarc. Then we got GRP, All Star Bands, all blue. GRP is a good high quality label. Somebody doesn't know how to put the freaking things back in. Stuff from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. It looks like a good candidate for the truck. Live from Austin, Texas, Outlaw Country, Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings, Chris Christopherson, Billy Joe, well, you can read. U2. And then James Taylor, the best, live. He's still alive. Huh. So, yeah. Pencil holder. This is going to go to the cabin for water. Box. Shamwells, I think. I'm not sure. It costs $0.25. And then this, which is a very old meter. Yeah, it's got a metal backing case, made in Japan. Why is that opening? The screw's taken out on one side. It's literally got that crinkly paint on it. So if it doesn't work, we throw it out. Not sure what this is for, adjustment, but sometimes these are handy because you can get a range. Like if you just want to know something's working, you click on it. I assume there's a battery because it's got ohms. So anyhow, it's free. And a nice whatever this is. Well, it's a shirt, but I don't know. Holly, I don't know. And then this will be handy for backwoods. Just a lightweight Columbia quick dry. So yeah, there we go. Time to go to work. The cats discovered the deck. What you doing, Jackie-O? Yeah, it's a long way down there, Jackie-O. Okay, well that took an hour of my life. My clamps aren't long enough now. I need to be a little more than 4 feet. So this clamp, I could really puts a lot of pressure on. So I wanted to use this clamp. I have other ones that are little, but they just don't have the oomph. Plus this is a 3/4 pipe, which has a lot more off. But the problem was finding an extension. Now this takes it to 6 feet, which is plenty. I can move this up against the wall. I can slide that down. I'm good there. But I found this, which I like because it's got a little end on it, so it's an old handle. Probably do a pipe wrench, pipe threader, because they need lots of torques. So I cleaned the rust off of this and just kind of waxed on it because I like it to look pretty. But couldn't find a coupler. Well, I did find a coupler, but the threads, it was all rusty in here, and I couldn't find anything to clean the threads out. I have tap dies. I have taps, but I don't have dies. I don't have the ability to do this pipe inside. So I finally found this. Apparently I craftily hidden it away. We got a new water meter last year, and I had to move everything in the basement around to get access to it because it's way in the corner on the ledge, way back there. So I'd unpile everything, and apparently this was in there. So yeah, now we can resume there. I have the next piece starting the third to last row, and these last 2 rows are going to be very complicated because, again, the distance. Also, they're really close to the house now, so I can't like get in this way, and I have to, you know, my clamp can't extend, so I'm going to have to be like down here. And the final row actually is going to be cut, and it's going to go underneath the trim, so it's not going to be a 3.5 inch. It's going to be like 2 inches with a 1 inch overhang. So yeah, this is going to be complicated. Not to mention I'm having good wood shortages. So like you can tell here, something's not right. Then I found this piece last week that just is going to look good. I've got all these. These are 48 inches. I also want to stagger the joints. I don't want to like a joint and a joint and a joint. So I have to start and stop. That's the next piece. That's the good piece. I was going to use the railing, and I may use this for this row. I may put that piece on this piece and just have a nice continuous piece. These pieces have twists in them. You can see down there it's flush. You know, this one has a similar. They're all messed up. So I'll put those aside. But that's 48. That's almost the whole row right there. Just can't use. This one has huge cracks in it. Those are going to fill up with water and then they'll freeze. I forget what's wrong with this one. Something wrong with this one. So anyhow, I got enough. Because this row, if I put this on this current row, I'm going to have a 48 there. I'm just going to have 1 joint in the middle. Then I can just slap these down anywhere. There won't be any overlapping joints with the exception of that one there. So I just have to be a little conscious of that. So we'll get there. I don't have enough for the railing is where I'm going at. But Woodcraft has this wood, enough wood, and it's straight, and it's not all curvy like. So it's about $7 a board foot, which is like twice as much as what I was paying, but I don't have to drive 1,000 miles to get it. Spike took himself for a walk. I've been following him, but he went through the swamp. How can I tell? That's how I can tell. Swamp feet. Looks like we're going to be taking a short trip to the hose. Okay, the third to last row is done. Ironically, I used my last clip. Technically, I need one right here, but I'm going to look around, see if I have one. So the last row is the one I have to put in first because it goes underneath the trim here. So it'll be something like that, and hence, so, which is actually pretty deep in here. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do this because I can't really screw that piece down. Now I can over here. I'm going to have on each joist, I'll have just enough room, but underneath here, I really factored that in there. It's only 6 feet. Maybe that just piece will float. I don't have a piece. I might have a piece long enough to fit in there. So, but for now, we're gonna go take a break on this. It's hot out here, out in Hants. But yeah, hope to be sanding on it tomorrow and start putting up the railing. So the railing will be a post there, somewhere in the center here, one there, and then it will have swages and a connector that I can tighten the cable, and then there'll be a cable going all the way through. So swages means that it just compresses the fitting around the cable, and then so there'll be like 8 cables or whatever. Then for the top, what the railing is supposed to be a piece of this, but I'm gonna have to go by that. So today is rib night, and I didn't start till 5. It's now 6. So we first wrap them in tin foil, put like a dry mix on them, and then we put them in here for about an hour. Take them out. I buy them from Aldi's, which is good because they're inexpensive, but Aldi's has weird sizes, which is probably why they're expensive, but we're just going to eat on them. So get anywhere from that little piece to this big thick piece. So yeah, the grill's about 600 degrees, way too hot. Get that out of there, get out of there. Over there, most of the heat's on that corner because that's where the stuff is. Believe it or not, I haven't bought charcoal in years because I keep finding it in the freaking trash. People throw it out as if coal or charcoal goes bad. But yeah, so I have 3 bags unopened. And then I bought like 4 bags when I started this, so I guess it's been 7 years. She may be 17, but she can hold her own when it comes to rib bones. Look at that mess. This isn't going to clean up well. Well, I've thought about this overnight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the next piece in. It's going to get face screwed. So I'll make little hole plugs. Then put the plugs in. I got to find the plugs in the hole maker. Then I'm going to cut the piece and slide it in underneath. So the piece will be here. Let's say, actually I'll go right to there. Then I'll just slide the other piece in there. And I'm going to nail that into place. Probably, I don't know what I'm going to use because there's not a lot of room here. There's only like 1/4 of an inch. I'm not quite sure, but yeah. And then I'll repeat. Now I put this long piece in here so I wouldn't have any joints to worry about. Only 2 joints in this entire piece. We're going to overlap there, done. And then make sure that the piece goes past there. And then I'm just going to continue through. Probably have to get some stainless steel shooting nails, but yeah, we're almost there. This piece has gotten loose, so I gotta look underneath and probably put a screw on the inside. I didn't find that problem here, though they're not exactly joints, and you can see there's been a little shrinkage here, but it is what it is. And then sand. So I want to sand the perimeter. And then I'll put some oil down before I put the railing up, because the railings, you know, I can always sand the inside. It's just later on I won't. Now I put supports in. I pull up the railings and it looks like I have 2 corners, and then there'll be one here, here, and here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are going to get screwed right down. I put in blocks underneath so there's extra meat for those. They're going to be lag screws. So I gotta look up and see what size drill bit to use there. This being so hard, I would split if I just tried to drill it directly, not like a piece of pine that would just do what was needed. So I think I'm done with this pipe. And take that out. It rained a little bit today. I was kind of bummed because I didn't take that out. I did get most of this rust stain out using Rust Away, but I think the rest will sand. So yeah, it was kind of chilly today and looked like it was going to rain, but now it's nice and temperate and sunny.